Yes. What part can you smell with the
On your right, back here to this real working filming studio, filming TV studio, University.
From world-famous studio tour trams to become electric vehicles. As these trams roll out, guests will be experiencing all the movie-making action.
You get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
JT.
And the greatest driver.
Glenn.
They're the best. I love that. Even though
JT.
owes me $5.
Our own city. We've got our own zip code, our own sheriff substation, cafes, rest movie set, not picture cars or actors. The real deal, again, they're here to keep us safe as we work in our movie making city. Carl wanted us not to just be a real city, but one that was dedicated to behind you. We're going to see sound stages 7 through 11 as well coming up on the left. Stages 7 and 8 currently home to Peacocks of Bel Air, who we're going to hear from still now to welcome us onto the front line.
You got me a water when you get
any of our dino friends around the line.
Hello, Ted.
Toasting to all of you. Celebrating, getting his own show. He's going to have a prequel series coming out on Peacock as well, coming up in January. Ted's also welcoming us to our famous bungalows on the lot to the left, the small tan colored buildings. These were used by stars there. He's the writer of Scream. He helped create shows like Dawson's Creek and The Vampire Diaries. He's a few years back with the reboot of Will and Grace. We used these first, though, in 2016 for NBC's Hairspray Live, a live musical right now. On the back lot, guys, we'll see less sound stages and more what we call practical sets and facades. Our first examples of these coming up on the left here are our Metropolitan sets. It's designed to have a more European look. We've used it as London in the Mindy Project. Shows like Marvel's Age. Some of a real production back there as they're getting ready, setting up for whatever their production is. The chapel right here, this is a great example of a practical set. It means we can film on the inside and outside, as opposed to a facade, which is just usually the front.
You have to take into account that people are looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this ride, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's
right from Magnum PI there, it's actually just a Ferrari shell over a Volkswagen engine. The Ferrari engine was too loud for filming, so they just swapped it out. Back to the Future there, these picture cars who were used on the Metropolitan sets for filming that movie. Flintstones there made of mostly foam rubber, makes them more lightweight, easier to drive with your feet.
Fast and Furious.
The gyrosphere from Jurassic World, missing its glass shell. It actually never had one. They added that in post-production with visual effects. We did it much better than I do. On the right and left. For example, there on the left, the green Bubble Lab unit. This was featured in The Lost World, Jurassic Park. We did not film the scene on an actual cliff, though. It was filmed on our front lot that we just went through. Not in one of our sound stages either, though. It was actually... Well, watch out, guys. Looks like some of our dino actors out for their afternoon exercise here. I promise they're friendly back there, guys. Right here. Filmed on our front lot. Not in one of those sound stages, though. You guys remember that big part? There's also the weather. Now, we can't always rely on things like thunderstorms or just rain, even, to happen at any moment. One of the ways we can do this is by using practical effects. Effects that are done in real life, in person. You can see, touch, feel, hear, and smell them maybe. Flip the on switch. There you go, movie making magic right here. You got a sprinkler at home. Throw in some backlighting, make the raindrop show up on screen. Well, sometimes you get this whole like backup of water. It can turn into this big thing where you got flood coming away. Sometimes it's just coming around. Wow, like right now watch out back here, guys. Flash flood coming at you. You might be in the splash zone right there. Wow, guys, it's almost like I knew that was coming. It was a very music video for those who got some Judas, or perhaps in the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti. Here you see thousands of gallons of recycled water. Kirk Douglas, Jimmy Stewart, Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford. You name them, they mosey down to these streets. Recently for Quentin Tarantino's 9th feature film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They won the Oscar for Best Production Design. Plus, one exception might be if you are in a live audience show, like The Voice. Take a look to your left here, you'll see where The Voice films on stage 30 and 31 right there. Just across the way is 33 here, home to That's My Jam with Jimmy Fallon, another live audience show on property. All of our see the angry villagers chasing after the monsters again through these very streets, some of the most recognizable icons of cinema. It just celebrated 90 years of The Invisible Man. Right here to your left, this is the Yoga Chop on screen. This one went to red and blue Europe. Has been featured in films like Cinderella with Brandy and Whitney Houston, Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman to take it back to our monster movies. Again, a huge part of our legacy.
Really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Now, I may not have seen any monsters then in Little Europe, guys. He's still 6 points. There were 6 streets, and Dimmer Street here was one of them. Look to your right here. I mean, it looks like they caught the shark that was terrorizing the town. So we got divers out there. They're just going to check, make sure everything's all right. And I'm sure those beaches will be open in no time. You know, I mean, it can be our next. Not sure the coast is clear after all. We got divers, like I said. That's George. Guys, I mean, George. Alright guys, make sure that we stay seated at all times. Keep your hands and feet in. Was not the case for Spielberg.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
Well enough. For a while there had to be.
Built for the 1982 movie musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds. One of our larger practical sets, standalone practical sets. Built originally on Soundstage 12 to film shark attacks. You may not want that kind of stuff happening on your street where you actually live at any hour of the day or night. So instead, we come back to the lot, recreate that setting. We can do whatever we want to these sets, whenever we want. We can paint the houses, rebuild them if we need, change out the trees or bushes through our greenery department. Fixes Never Have I Ever from Mindy Kaling. Have any horror fans on board? Buffy the Vampire Slayer filmed an episode here. The Nightmare on Elm Street 6. To your right, the pinkish purple house. That's the original Monsters house from the 1960 series, The Monsters. Great examples again of practical set. You'll never forget it after today because we've got more picture cars. Right here on the right, some of our Fast and Furious picture cars, front and center. Back there in the back, that piano truck from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou with George Clooney. Hitchcock history, as I promised you, his most beloved classic, 1960 Psycho. Cherry. She doesn't get out much these days, guys. Oh, wait, hey, we got the owner of the motel himself, guys, Norman Bates. Everyone, wait. Just wave and smile, guys. Wave and smile. Boy, watch out back there. Being psychopath for a second. Out of Hitchcock territory into Spielberg territory. Once again, I think we'll fare much better here, guys. We've got ambulance, police presence to keep us safe. safety. Sure, that's what we got going on here in this set. This is one of the sets from Spielberg's 2005 sci-fi epic War of the Worlds. Here's Spielberg in production.
The airplane is perfect example. It's all designed because it's just something
Stay seated. We don't want to lose you and all the rest. Boeing 747 on the left, Spielberg and team purchased from an airplane graveyard just north of us in the Mojave Desert. They bought it for about $6. Rebuilt it exactly as you'd see in the movie right here now, so you guys get your own look.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission, Jupiter's Planet. A nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Look into the Winking Web and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Share. Built to showcase an unbelievable new... It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, the Gold Rush Frontier.
Between War of the Worlds and Jimmy put you right in the middle of the Magic of your show. We're going to make you action star tour. Well, I guess I shouldn't speak too soon. We got about a minute left, but I feel pretty good. We're going to make it back. But I want to thank you again on behalf of myself, JT, and your driver, Glenn, here, for coming to spend some time with us today, especially on a holiday. If any of you are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. We'll have to have a turkey leg for me